Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Romina, and today I'm going to finally be filming my August monthly budget. Now, I know that this video is definitely not going to go up in the beginning of the month, which is usually when I like to get this main video up. But as you guys know, if you guys have been watching my last few videos, I was on vacation. I actually ended up going to Cancun, and I thought that I would be able to film all of my budgeting videos prior to leaving on my trip, but I also just moved into my new apartment in the beginning of August, so everything has been very crazy. I'm actually working on getting October new releases up as well in my shop, so it's just a very crazy month all around. So I do apologize that this video is going up as late as it is, but do expect my next few videos go up. Of course, since we already passed pretty much the middle of the month, I'm not going to be using cash for this month since I knew that I was once again going on a trip and I didn't want to take out cash that I was then not going to end up using. So all of my purchases have been with a debit card this month. The only things I will be using cash for will be my sinking funds, so definitely stay tuned. That should be the next upcoming video after this one. I also haven't filmed my budget planner setup video, which I think I'll just end up filming that once I film my monthly, me setting up my monthly and my variable income page and all of that, as I would typically do during my cash envelope stuffings. But yes, I am excited. This is my second month in my Erin Condren monthly planner. I really loved how things looked in the month of July. Of course, I still also haven't closed out that budget, so my budget planner is really hating me right now, and I'm pretty sure that future Mina is gonna dislike me even more once I have to go through all of the transactions. But yeah, we're just gonna wing it, and we're gonna start with the budget page. So I have a ton of stickers here that I'm going to be using for this month. This is actually going to be for my budget planner setup, but today I am going to be using my roses washi kit. I believe I offered 3 prints for the month of August. We had the roses, we had the sunflowers, and the back to school print. And I'm actually going to be using, or I will try to use all of the washies for this month just to keep things a little bit more fun. So I'm going to be using the roses washi, and along with that I'm going to be using my August budget kit with the correlating, of course, pattern box there for that washi. So I like to set up my budget spread on the right side, right after the dashboard. Next to that, I will set up my variable income page. I also apologize if you guys were hoping to see my face on camera. I just honestly don't have time to get ready and do the whole setup that I typically do, but I will be, of course, going back to that setup next month. I actually have some foiled budgeting scripts, so let me get those. All right, so I have these silver foiled monthly budget scripts, but I think I want to go with some gold ones. I don't have any at hand, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this script, but I will definitely change it to the gold since I think that foil would look prettier and would make this stand out a little bit more. So I won't be using those, but let's go ahead and get started. This month's budget is a little different. I'm saying a little bit, but it's quite a bit different than my past months because, of course, I just moved in on my own to an apartment. So I'll definitely go ahead and explain to you guys like how much I'm paying for rent, because as you guys know, I did move to LA, so it is different than before, because as you guys know, before I used to split rent, and now it's just all on me. It is less than my last apartment, but my last apartment was a 2-bedroom apartment, and we had like a washer and dryer and all of that. So it's definitely been a little bit, I wouldn't say difficult, but interesting to adjust to my new apartment. But yeah, so as you guys know, my income sources are as follows. I have my number one income source, which is my shop, Romina Rosa. So my shop pays me a paycheck every single month. So I like to go ahead and make a perfect budget by only receiving one paycheck from my shop in the very beginning of the month. That will help me cover all of my expenses for the month, and that is how and why I only, let's say, stuff my cash envelopes once a month, and why I like to make this monthly budget. So I don't disclose my income, so those are going to be empty for now. And then the second main income that I have would be my variable sources of income, and those being sources like Patreon, YouTube, affiliate links, all that good stuff will go in there. Now, I don't foresee having any like extra miscellaneous income coming in this month. I've been saying I've been wanting to sell my clothes, but once again, it's just been crazy. And I really hope that things kind of slow down, but I don't think they will. But yeah, so if I do end up, let's say, selling some clothes this month, I will just go ahead and add it to my variable income page. And you guys will see that once, let's say, that ends up happening. Now let's go ahead and move on to my expenses. I like to use this budget kit that splits your expenses between variable and fixed. And what variable expenses basically means is that they vary. So these would be all of my cash envelopes. I also have like my phone bill, internet, and I have another category that I had last month but that I didn't end up doing. So I think I'm gonna lay down the fixed expenses little header strip here as well, which fixed expenses would be all of those expenses that do not vary and do not change. Those being like my rent, my car payment, car insurance, all those are set amounts. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fix this really quick. Also, do you guys like my nails? Of course, they're a little bit, not old, but it's been like over a week that I've had them. But I did take a picture and posted that on my Instagram, which is romina.rosa, and I just love them. I love the different colors and how fun they were, and they definitely screamed vacation nails to me. Now let's go ahead and start with the variable expenses side. Let's start with my cash envelopes, or actually not cash envelopes because I'm not doing them this month, but my regular categories that I like to weekly check in for. So those would be starting with groceries. Let me go ahead and check what I budgeted last month. I have my little notebook, by the way, here. I like to use this pretty Hello Kitty softbound notebook to write out all of my mock budget spreads and like sinking funds and all of that. And it's really nice to keep it, I think, in a notebook to kind of be able to reference back to past months. That's the main reason why I like doing that. So let's see, last month I budgeted $200 and I'm keeping it the same for this month. I honestly will just have to see how good this budget is. But for the most part, before I would split groceries and like household items with, you know, the person that I was living with. But now it's all gonna be on me. And I remembered the first month that I moved into my last apartment, it was kind of chaotic, and I think I might have been a little bit over budget on groceries because I had to get things that you would typically only buy once, like spices and like specific household items. And so it's going to be interesting to see, so definitely stay tuned for my weekly check-in videos. I'm definitely going to have to combine week 1 and week 2, so stay tuned for that. Then next is household. Now for household, I am budgeting $75. I typically do $100, but I know that I have quite a bit left over from last month, so I just decided to do $75 for this month. Then for eating out, since August is of course still in the summer, and I've been seeing a pattern of me going out to eat a little bit more, and especially now that I'm living on my own and that, let's say, I'm like somebody else is never going to be paying for my food necessarily, I've decided to increase it a little bit. from last month. So last month I budgeted 120, and I think I might have been over budget just because the month before that I had budgeted 150. So I'm going back to the $150 for eating out. I believe 20 of these will be towards my tips cash envelope, which I do actually have that right now, and 130 will be for just solely eating out. And there's actually a lot of good eating out places around me in the area that I'm now living in, so I'm really excited, and I'm just hoping that that's enough to last me for the month. If not, I definitely will be dipping into like my allowance for any extra, I think, eating out expenses, but I'm trying to also be healthier, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes this month, or how it's been going. I just have to track all of my expenses now. Next up, I have my allowance category, and every month I give myself $100. That's just the amount that I always do. If I end up spending less than $100, then I'll go ahead and roll that over to my allowance sinking fund cash envelope. Next, I have my beauty category, and for this I am going back to my usual $250 for beauty. Definitely stay tuned for my weekly check-in video if you guys would like to know how much I spent on these nails here, which were definitely not cheap, but definitely worth it. Next, I have gas, and I am going to be budgeting $100 for gas. I think moving forward after this month, I might increase it to 120 just because I am now seeing that I'm constantly driving to my parents' house just to like either like do laundry or go to church, spend the day with them. So 100 for gas. Then I have my phone bill, which I budget $72 for. Internet is next, which it's so funny because I didn't have to like install my internet and like the modem and the router before for my last apartment, and this time around I did everything on my own, so I hope you guys are happy and proud of me. But anyways, my internet over there was $69.99, but I think the prices have gone up for Spectrum, and it is now going to be around $75. So that's what I'm going to be budgeting for my internet. Next, I have haircut, which I was definitely meaning on getting a haircut in the month of July, and I even booked an appointment with Ulta. Like I mentioned, I had gone to Ulta like 3 or 4 months ago now, and for some reason my appointment got canceled and I wasn't able to like schedule another appointment. Like they didn't know when the hairstylist was going to be back, so then that kind of messed with like my whole schedule of things, and I just didn't end up getting a haircut last month, but I definitely need to get one this month. So I'm going to be budgeting the same amount that I did last month, $75, and we'll see how it goes. I think that should be enough. So those are all of my variable expenses, and then I do like to have a placeholder category, you can say, for any unbudgeted expenses, and I don't budget anything for this, it's just for any unexpected expenses. So those are all of those. I think I can get away with skipping a line just in case I miss something, but of course by this time of the month I know that I haven't missed anything because, or maybe I have, I don't know, life's crazy. Anyways, next up are my fixed expenses, and the very first one that I have here, of course, is going to be my rent. Now I do want to explain what's going on with my rent because I'm in a very like particular situation. When I was looking for apartments, I saw that they were actually offering, I believe, like $500 off the first 4 months of rent. And then after that, of course, you would pay the regular price, which the regular price is $19.45 for my apartment in particular. And then once I got like the apartment tour and everything, I was able to convince my landlord, or to work out something with my landlord where he would offer me the same promotion for 5 months instead of 4. So the way that I'm going to be going about this is I'm going to put the promotional amount to kind of balance things out, and so that I am not like freaking out once I have to pay like the $19.45. I am going to start a sinking fund where I'll put the rest of the amount that I need for, let's say, the $19.45 aside, so then that way once my promotional period is done, I have that money, but I'm still paying the $14.45. So I've averaged it out, and my rent on a monthly basis is $17.37, but the amount that I'm paying that will be here is going to be $1,445. And then the rest, which would be, I believe, $292, will go towards my rent sinking fund, because I don't have to pay for that just yet. That will be after the 5 months. I hope all of that made sense, but I think I got a really good deal for the apartment that I have in the area that I'm in. So I am really thankful, that I was able to prolong that promotion and all of that. So yeah, that's what I'm paying for now. And then you guys will see my sinking funds later on. After rent, I have my car payment as a fixed expense, and that is $348.06. Next would be my car insurance. That is an amount of $200. Next up would be my renter's insurance, which my renter's insurance in the beginning of the month, for the month of August, is going to be the same as last month, but I have now changed the address in my policy, and my renter's insurance actually went up by, I believe, like $5, because of course, like the area that I'm in now. So I'm going to put renter's insurance, and once again for August, it's still the same as last month, so $10.83. Next, I have a category for subscriptions, and this is for really small subscriptions like my iCloud storage, as well as part of a Spotify family plan that I pay with my sister. So those two together are $6.99. Then I have my student loan payment, which this is just extra since I don't necessarily have to pay for this for these still, but I do like to, pay the $130.77 just to make me feel better, because I sort of put a pause on my debt-free journey because of like expenses, like moving out expenses and all of that. So yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better about myself that I'm still making that payment. The next, I'm going to put electricity in here. I haven't gotten my first bill, so I'm going to leave it blank. And once I know how much I have to pay for this, I'll go ahead and update you guys, but for now it'll be blank. Then I have my giving category, which I like to do $150 for every month. I honestly could have put my electricity in my variable expenses, but I just don't know the amount since this is my first month that I'll be paying for it. For my last apartment, I paid for electricity every other month, so I don't know how it works around here. So we'll see. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And then the last fixed expense that I have here will be my sinking funds, which once again I will be filming a video for up next. For sinking funds, I am doing $876, and those are all of my expenses. I think I'm also going to skip the line. I think this is, yeah, just skip one line here and put the totals header there. Perfect. So those are all of my expenses there. Now I'm going to go ahead and lay down more of this glitter washi, as well as the rest of the spread. So down here, I'm going to lay down my totals little section. So in here, I like to write out totals for my income, so my expected and actual income at the end of the month, as well as the budgeted and actual amounts for my variable and fixed expenses. So I like to have this section here because then whatever is remaining once I subtract my expenses from my income, I can go ahead and write out in my little squared off pattern box indicating how much money I will be putting towards my emergency fund. So I have had to dip into my emergency fund as of now just because of my move. So I'm really hoping that come next year I'm able to build that up once again. And here I'm just laying down some pieces, some deco pieces that come in the budget kits. And there you go. Okay, so this is all done. The last thing I'm going to write here will be my totals. I'm not going to write out my fixed expenses total just because I'm missing electricity, but I will just add it up here so you guys can take a look or kind of have an idea of how much that'll be. So in total, as of now, that is going to be $3,167 with 65 cents. Which is a whole lot of money. So that's that. And then for variable, let me go ahead and add these up to 50, 100, 72, 75, and 75. The total for my budgeted amounts is $1,097. So that is a total here, and that I can put in here. Of course, if I had the number for my fixed expenses, I would just write that down here, but I do not. But with that being said, that is going to be it for this monthly budget video for the month of August. I really hope that you guys enjoyed setting up my monthly budget spread with me. I love these colors and I'm kind of sad that summer is almost over, but let me tell you, October washi kits and new releases are going to be poppin', especially because I have some like kits and other stuff that I didn't get to release in September. So definitely stay tuned for my October new releases video because I will be having a discount code. So if you guys are in the market or looking to purchase any of those stickers, definitely stay tuned. I think that's all that I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. If you guys enjoyed this video, as always, please do not forget to give it a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!